If you look at the economics behind inequality in pay, it acts as a very powerful incentive for people to become more productive, to work smarter, to work harder, etc. And there is even a recognized economic theory developed by Simon Kuznets, which clearly indicates that that countries actually perform better, their GDPs, their economies tend to grow faster, where you do have this incentive.
At the Institute of Directors, we believe that maximizing profit for its own sake is not the way to go any longer. We believe that companies need to be responsible corporate citizens because companies have a wider mandate than simply chasing profits. We believe that companies are part of society. It's not society and companies, it's companies within society. And such they should contribute to society on more than only a financial level.
Governments and trade unions and other groupings, community groupings, have a vested interest in trying to boost workers' wages, and at the heart of these concerns about inequality are jealousy and envy, some really basic emotions that people feel when they see others earning salaries that they can only dream of.
Certainly with the horrendous strikes we've had in the platinum sector and the fallout from those very destructive events, I think this whole concept of the pay gap and what CEOs are paid versus what entry-level workers are paid has really come onto the front of the newspapers. Our position really is that in terms of the pay gap, we talk about squeezing the pay gap or the wage gap from both ends. At the top of the house, at the CEO level, our view is that one needs to exercise care, and you'll have seen that increases in executive pay have come down from the 8 or 10% we saw 5 years ago to around 4 or 5%. So we're saying be careful. Give increases to top executives which are a bit lower than average management, which are in turn a bit lower than your entry-level workers, to exercise restraint in that way. And probably the most important message that we're getting both from the public at large and particularly institutional shareholders, which ultimately are the owners of these companies, is that pay for performance is probably more important than the overall quantum. We must make sure we're paying top dollar to our top executives who are performing well, and that we are not overpaying executives who are presiding over failed or failing companies.
Inequality is the basis of our economic incentive system. The fact that if you do less well, you earn less, and if you do well, you earn more. That inequality is the fundamental basis of our capitalist system. What is much more interesting is not inequality, but it's mobility. Can people enter the labor market and move, aspiring to move up to those positions and the maximum of their talent? And here we have a big problem because there is no channel for black African youth to enter the labor market. In fact, the only channel that exists is the labor brokers or employment agencies. We need more channels to introduce people who've never worked before, young people, into the world of work. That brings us to the quality of the education system, which is in a state of total collapse. Managerial prerogatives have been completely captured by SAD2 as the teachers' trade union. The biggest contributor to inequality in South Africa is the schooling system, which prevents young black people from entering and being mobile through the labor market.
The IODSA is the custodian of the King Report and also the convener of the King Committee. So this whole philosophy of sustainability, corporate citizenship underpins our training programs, our events, our thought leadership papers, what we issue and what we stand for.
Our view is not so much the pay gap, it's really, are companies able to pay their junior workers, their entry-level workers, an adequate entry-level wage? And probably even more importantly, is are companies and those workers spending that money in a way which is arriving at or deriving financial wellness? There's some very destructive issues at junior levels. For example, garnishee orders, where somebody earning 6,000 or 7,000 rand a month could have 4,000 or 5,000 rand deducted going to various debt collection agencies before they get to the bottom line. How does one deal with that? Certainly some of the statistics that the guest economists have indicated to us, big business and the private sector in this country are doing very well and having a very positive impact on our country and really feeding the nation, from the executives to the workers to everybody who's deriving benefit from the tax base, the social grants, etc.
The public at large that are working should be in a position practically where they appreciate that whatever you're earning X, somebody is earning X minus 10%, minus 20%, some people are earning X plus 20, plus 30%. They should be examining, why am I earning more, why am I earning less than some of the other people in this organization or in industries or in companies in that same industry. If you realize the fact that you're earning less is because of a lack of knowledge of a particular topic like accounting, like taxes, tax law, whatever, then gain that knowledge. South African executives are certainly not earning too much, because the more than 50% on average of their remuneration is linked to productivity and profitability. If you were to lose these executives, if you were to cap their pay, for instance, through some form of regulation, there is no doubt in my mind that we will lose a significant percentage of executives. And the way to look at executives is to appreciate the fact that some of these people have got totally unique skills. Your dilemma with these people is that they are internationally mobile. And in the particular country where they decide to apply their trade, they pay enormous taxes. And ultimately that swells government coffers. So if you were to cap their pay, then it would certainly have a detrimental effect on the total economy, and certainly I cannot see SARS actually being very happy about that.